The movie opens with a dramatic storm over the ocean as Poseidon, the god of the sea, emerges from the water. Towering and powerful, he strides toward the shore, his footsteps causing the earth to tremble. As he approaches the Empire State Building, he begins to shrink down into human form. At the same time, Zeus, the god of the sky, waits for him at the top of the building, which serves as the secret entrance to Mount Olympus. Zeus accuses Poseidon's son of stealing his master lightning bolt, the most powerful weapon in existence. He demands its return before the summer solstice, or there will be war among the gods. The scene then shifts to Percy Jackson, a seemingly normal teenager living in New York. He struggles in school due to his dyslexia and ADHD, which make it difficult for him to read and focus. Despite these challenges, he has a close friendship with his best friend, Grover, and a complicated relationship with his stepfather, Gabe, who mistreats both Percy and his mother, Sally. Percy finds comfort in swimming, feeling at peace in the water. During a school field trip to a museum, Percy's teacher, Mr. Brunner, talks about Greek mythology and the gods, particularly Zeus's stolen lightning bolt. Percy feels strangely connected to the stories but has no idea of the truth behind them. As Percy wanders through the museum, his substitute teacher, Mrs. Dodds, suddenly pulls him aside. Her demeanor shifts, and her eyes glow with an eerie intensity. Without warning, she transforms into a monstrous creature, a fury, revealing sharp claws and wings. She attacks Percy, demanding that he return the lightning bolt, leaving him completely bewildered. Before she can harm him, Mr. Brunner and Grover walk in just in time before Percy is harmed and demand the creature to let him go or else. Percy is let go and the creature flies away. Later, Grover reveals that Percy is in grave danger and insists that they leave immediately. Sally, already aware of the truth, rushes Percy into the car, and they drive toward a place she calls camp. During the drive, Sally explains that everything Percy has learned about Greek mythology is real. The gods, the monsters, and even the heroes, it's all true. Before they can reach their destination, a monstrous roar echoes through the night. A minotaur, half man, half bull, emerges from the woods, chasing their car with terrifying speed. The creature rams into the vehicle, forcing them to crash. Sally urges Percy to run toward the entrance of Camp Half-Blood, explaining that it is the only safe place for him. Percy refuses to leave his mother behind, but the Minotaur grabs Sally and she vanishes in a flash of golden light, seemingly destroyed. Enraged and devastated, Percy charges at the Minotaur. Using sheer determination, he grabs one of the creature's horns and, in a final desperate act, manages to drive it into the beast's body, defeating it. Exhausted and injured, Percy collapses just as he crosses into Camp Half-Blood. Later, Percy wakes up in an unfamiliar place, groggy and confused. He finds himself in a spacious cabin, lying in a comfortable bed. Grover enters, revealing his true form as a satyr, half human, half goat, explaining that he has been Percy's protector this whole time. As they walk out of the cabin, a girl with dark hair and a confident stance stands nearby, observing Percy. Mr. Brunner, now dressed in ancient Greek-style clothing, arrives and finally reveals his real identity. He is Chiron, a centaur, half man, half horse, and the trainer of young heroes. He explains to Percy that Greek gods are real and that they still influence the world. Camp Half-Blood is a sanctuary for the children of these gods, keeping them safe from monsters. Percy struggles with the truth, but his grief over losing his mother is overwhelming. Chiron tells him that she was not killed but rather taken to the underworld by Hades. Chiron also confirms that Percy himself is a demigod, though they do not yet know who his divine parent is. Percy is introduced to the camp, where he meets other demigods, including Luke Castellan, son of Hermes. Chiron arranges a game of capture the flag to test Percy's abilities. Annabeth, a skilled warrior and daughter of Athena, challenges him in battle and quickly gets the upper hand. However, when Percy is injured and falls into the river, his wounds miraculously heal, and his strength is restored. The water around him responds as if it is connected to him. Realizing what this means, Chiron and the other campers watch as Percy miraculously defeats other opponents. Everyone realizes that this is a sign from the gods. He is the son of Poseidon, god of the sea. The revelation sends a wave of whispers through the camp. Later that night, Chiron explains that Percy's identity puts him in great danger. Zeus's master lightning bolt has been stolen, and Zeus believes Percy is the thief. With tensions rising among the gods, a war could break out if the bolt is not returned before the summer solstice. Determined to save his mother, Percy makes the decision to embark on a quest. He is joined by Annabeth and Grover, and together, they prepare to journey across the country and redeem himself by telling Hades that he never stole the lightning bolt and rescue his mother from the underworld. Since Luke's father, Hermes is the messenger of the gods and has extensive knowledge of both Olympus and the underworld. They seek out Luke in hopes that he can guide them. Luke meets them in his personal training area at the camp, where he is playing games. He listens to their predicament and agrees to help, though he warns them that this journey will not be easy. He tells them that the underworld is almost impossible to enter without an invitation, but there is a way. Scattered across the world are 3 enchanted pearls, which act as tokens of safe passage for those who wish to leave the underworld. With these pearls, they can enter and, more importantly, escape once they find what they are looking for. Luke then pulls out a rolled-up parchment and spreads it on the table, revealing an old, detailed map. The map marks the 3 known locations of the pearls, and he tells them that their first stop is a statue garden in the outskirts of Atlanta. Before they leave, Luke also hands Percy a bronze shield, saying that he will need it for the battles ahead. He then wishes them luck, and the group sets off on their quest. After hours of driving, they arrive at a seemingly abandoned roadside shop filled with eerie statues. The store is dimly lit, and a strange silence fills the air. As they step inside, Percy notices that the statues look oddly lifelike, as if they had once been real people. They decide to split up and search for the pearl. As Annabeth cautiously moves between the statues, a frantic woman rushes toward her, eyes wide with fear. She grabs Annabeth's arm and tries to warn her about something, but before she can finish, she drags Anna somewhere with her. Suddenly, they run into a tall woman with a hooded cloak. She introduces herself as Medusa and tells Annabeth that she knows her mother. She speaks bitterly of Athena, claiming that she was once a beautiful maiden until Athena cursed her, turning her hair into snakes and condemning her to turn anyone who looks at her into stone. As she speaks, Medusa slowly pulls back her hood, revealing her snake-covered head. Annabeth quickly squeezes her eyes shut, realizing who she is facing. Percy, hearing the commotion, rushes back and finds Annabeth with Medusa. Percy then distracts Medusa to chase after him. Medusa, now focused on Percy, chases after him, demanding that he hand over Zeus's lightning bolt. Annabeth and Grover manage to find a car outside and drive it through the shop, crashing into the statues and creating enough distraction for Percy to escape Medusa's grasp. Realizing they have no other option, Percy sneaks up behind Medusa while she is distracted and, with one powerful swing of his sword, slices off her head. They take a moment to catch their breath before finding the first pearl hidden on her wrist. Anna suggests taking Medusa's head with them, knowing it could be useful. With the first pearl secured, they head toward their next destination, Nashville. As they drive, Annabeth studies the map and determines that the second pearl is located inside the Parthenon, a full-scale replica of the ancient Greek temple dedicated to Athena. Since it is a public place, they decide to wait until nightfall to retrieve it. Hours later, under the cover of darkness, the group sneaks into the museum. Inside, they spot the pearl resting atop the statue of Athena's crown, just as the map had indicated. Percy wears the flying shoes Luke gifted him and retrieves the second pearl. Suddenly, the museum janitors step forward, their eyes glowing unnaturally. Their bodies begin to contort and shift, merging together into a massive, 5-headed hydra. The creature roars, shaking the entire building. The hydra lunges at them, spewing flames. Percy dodges and slices off their heads, but to his horror, 2 more grow back in its place. Grover then remembers Medusa's head and quickly unwraps it, holding it up toward the hydra. The moment the beast makes eye contact, its body stiffens, turning completely into stone. Later, the group arrives in Las Vegas, their third stop, searching for the final pearl. The city is alive with bright neon lights and the sound of bustling crowds, filling the streets with energy. As they enter the casino, they are greeted by stunning female staff members dressed in elegant, exotic outfits. The staff welcomes them warmly, offering them trays filled with delicious-looking cookies. Without hesitation, the group takes the cookies and begins eating them. The moment they take their first bite, a strange feeling washes over them. A rush of euphoria fills their bodies, making them feel light and free, almost as if all their worries have vanished. Their minds cloud with a blissful haze, and the thought of their mission slowly begins to fade. Instead of searching for the pearl, the group decides to relax and enjoy themselves. As time passes, Percy is offered another cookie by one of the waitresses. Just as he is about to take another bite, a faint voice whispers in his head, warning him to stop. The voice tells him that the cookies are not ordinary and that they are meant to keep him trapped in the casino forever. Percy immediately stops eating, his head clearing slightly. He begins to feel uneasy, realizing something is very wrong. Panic surges through him, and he quickly rushes through the casino, searching for his friends. Percy grabs Annabeth's arm and shakes her, forcing her to snap out of her trance. Percy then yanks Grover off the stage, dragging him away from the cheering crowd. Percy urgently tells them that they have been in the casino for days and need to leave immediately. The group sprints through the casino, searching for the last pearl. Percy spots it sitting on a roulette table and reaches over and grabs it. Without hesitation, Percy, Annabeth, and Grover rush toward the exit. They get into a sleek sports car and Grover takes over the wheel, flooring the gas pedal as security guards chase after them. Tires screech against the pavement as they speed away from the casino, finally escaping its hypnotic grasp. Grover grips the wheel and speeds toward their next challenge. Later that night, they arrive at the Hollywood Hills. Suddenly, the ground trembles slightly, and a hidden entrance reveals itself beneath one of the large letters. A chilling gust of air escapes from the opening, sending shivers down their spines. The group steps inside and is met by a mysterious hooded figure. His voice is deep and hollow as he tells them that if they want passage to the underworld, they must pay him in gold. Percy reaches into his pocket, pulling out the gold coins he collected earlier. The hooded figure examines them before silently accepting the payment. Without another word, he leads them forward. They pass by visions of people's unfulfilled dreams, hopes that never came true. Suddenly, they hear screams echoing through the tunnel, and they look over the edge of a fiery pit. The souls trapped below cry out in agony as they are consumed by eternal flames. The hooded man stops at a massive door, marking the entrance to Hades' castle. As they step inside, they are immediately met by ferocious demon dogs, their glowing red eyes locked onto them. Just as the beasts are about to attack, a voice calls out, stopping them. A woman steps forward, it's Persephone, the queen of the underworld and Hades' wife. She welcomes the group into her castle, showing a particular interest in Grover as she leads them deeper inside. Finally, they come face to face with Hades himself. Percy steps forward, boldly telling Hades that he never stole the lightning bolt. He insists that he doesn't have it and demands that Hades release his mother. However, Hades refuses to believe him. He tells Percy that unless he hands over the bolt, he will kill his mother in front of him. Just then, Percy catches sight of his mother. Overcome with emotion, he throws his shield down and rushes toward her, embracing her tightly. Hades watches them for a moment before his gaze lands on the shield. A flicker of realization crosses his face as he bends down and picks it up. He turns it over and pries it open. Hidden inside is the lightning bolt. Hades' eyes widen in shock. He looks up at Percy and calls him a liar. Annabeth gasps, suddenly realizing what this means. Luke was the thief all along. Hades doesn't care about the truth. His eyes fill with greed as he lifts the bolt, preparing to use its power. Suddenly, Persephone moves swiftly, grabbing the bolt from his hands. Before Hades can react, she channels its energy and electrocutes him with it. She then turns to the group, tossing the bolt to Percy. Realizing they have no time to waste, Percy gathers the group. However, they quickly realize they are short one pearl. Only 3 of them can escape, which means one of them must stay behind. Without hesitation, Grover steps forward, volunteering to stay. He tells them that as their protector, it's his duty to ensure their safety. They nod solemnly, each stepping on a pearl. In an instant, they vanish, leaving Grover behind. A few minutes later, they arrive to New York, right outside the Empire State Building, the entrance to Mount Olympus. Without wasting time, they rush toward the building. As the elevator ascends, Percy grips the bolt tightly, his heart pounding. When the doors open, he and Annabeth step into the grand throne room of Olympus. Percy steps forward, his voice cutting through the tension. He tells Zeus to stop and holds up the bolt. The room falls silent as all eyes turn to him. Without hesitation, he tosses the bolt forward. He tells them that he was never the thief, that it was Luke, the son of Hermes, who wanted them to destroy each other. Zeus, after a long moment, he nods and declares that there will be no war. Percy then turns to Zeus and asks him to bring Grover back. Zeus considers for a moment before nodding. Poseidon steps forward and asks Zeus for a moment with his son. Zeus grants it, and Poseidon approaches Percy, his expression softer than before. He tells Percy that he has done well and brought balance back to Olympus. Percy hesitates before asking why he was never there for him. Poseidon sighs and explains that it was because of him that Zeus forbade the gods from interfering in their children's lives. He had spent too much time with Percy and his mother, forgetting his role as a god. Percy realizes that Poseidon truly did care, even if he had not been able to show it. Percy shakes his father's hand before stepping back. A few weeks later, as Percy enters camp, Grover rushes up to him, grinning. He excitedly points out the 2 small horns growing on his head, a sign that he is becoming stronger. Percy congratulates him, glad to see his friend happy. Later, he spots Annabeth training in the distance. He watches her for a moment before deciding to join her. As he picks up a sword, he knows that his journey is far from over. There will be more battles ahead, more challenges to face. But for now, he is home and that is enough. Make sure to like and subscribe for more notifications. Until next time. See you soon.